Good morning, Sarasota. Please rise in body and our spirit for our opening hymn, This Is My Song.
Welcome. Thank you. It's hard to get people to answer this early in the morning. My name is Becky Bogert, and I serve on the Board of Trustees. We especially want to welcome our visitors, if you're here with us, both on campus and over live stream. And we invite our visitors to participate in any of our events, excuse me, and there are many. We welcome visitors to find out more about us and Unitarian Universalism by registering on our virtual guest book, which you can find via a link on our homepage. It'll come up of our website, uusrq.org. If you're in person, there's a sign up at our visitors at the welcome table. If you do, we'll send you a weekly newsletter and Zoom links, and you'll get to many of our virtual events. We look forward to getting to know you if you are visitors. As I look around, I don't see any that I know of, but it's like familiar faces. I just have three brief announcements, and then the big one comes after me. On Saturday, October the 18th, from 2 to 6 in the afternoon, the 9th annual Big Mama's Collard Grand Festival will take place at the Robert Taylor Community Complex in Newtown. It's a family event, and there will be amazing food, and according to their Facebook page, something new this year. They've added dance performances, live music with rhythm, soul, and community vibes, and gospel choirs. We've always had a UUSRQ table there to share who we are and to connect with their community. We are looking for volunteers to staff the table. And I was told, don't say man the table. It's got to be PC. If you're interested in doing so, there's a sign-up sheet today out at the racial justice table, and it will be appreciated and helped. You can do small amounts of time, or if you get really excited about the food and the dance, you can stay the whole 6 hours. There's another event coming up on Zoom, and it's part of supporting the use of inclusive democratic processes to make decisions within our congregation. The second Monday of each month, we have a congregation conversation on Zoom at 7 p.m. Board members are present, Reverend Jay is there, a topic for the evening is introduced, and it's an opportunity to have your voice heard in the board decision-making. Our next one is October 13th, and you will hear about and have an opportunity to discuss potential changes that are being discussed in our policy handbook. It's each of you sitting here and bringing your voice that evening that makes this a democratic process. Please mark your calendars and join us on October 13th at 7 p.m. Also, this Sunday is member sign-up. If you wish to become a new member of the congregation, Reverend Jay will be meeting with new members in his minister's office 15 minutes after the service. And now the fun announcement begins.
Thank you, Becky. Good morning. Are you ready for a little fun? Good. For those who are new to UUSRQ, BidFest is our annual auction where members donate events, activities, and services, and other members bid on them during the silent or the live auction. Winners enjoy their winnings all year long. It's the second largest fundraiser we have, but it's number one for fun. And did I mention there's food? The purpose of the BidFest kickoff is twofold: to announce the date and time of BidFest and to ask you to put it on your calendar. It's a big day, and whether you're or not you're the highest bidder, it's lots of fun. And to give you some ideas of past donations so you can decide what to donate this year. So let's get started. BidFest will be held on November 15th from 11:30 to 2:30. That's a Saturday, so don't make the mistake of coming on a Sunday. If you do, there you won't find anything left to bid on. Here are some activities and events that people donated last year. If you're stuck for ideas after this, stop by the BidFest table in the courtyard and browse through past catalogs. There are plenty of ideas to choose from, so no need to look like this when trying to think of one. Or like this. Here's a very not well-kept secret. UUs are social creatures. We love to share our opinions, and believe me, we have them. And we love to eat in the company of other UUs. Breakfasts, brunches, lunches, cocktail parties, we like outings followed by a meal, including a meal, and preceded by a meal. We enjoy a home-cooked meal or a meal in a restaurant. Food brought out or food taken out. Don't want the work of entertaining at home? Donate a gift card to your favorite restaurant or take your winning bidders there. Sharing tasty food in the company of UUs is fun and really brings in the high bidders, especially if you can cook. If your dinner party looks like this one, please don't kiss anybody. How about a dessert party, a cookie exchange, or a Super Bowl, or even an Academy Award party? Last year, people donated an ice cream taste-off, and it sold out in minutes and was lots of fun. Just think. All you need is a reason to celebrate, and people will happily bid on your event. Last year, 2 couples donated a soup and salad party, and the response was terrific, and not one person dribbled soup on their chin. How about a day at the beach or a picnic in the park? That's always a fun time. Mayaka or the Bayfront awaits your creativity and your culinary creations. Do you love to cook and bake? Donate lessons on how to make your favorite food. Cookies, bread, scones, and pizza are some member favorites. Other favorites include activities are games. Card games, Scrabble, backgammon, Wordle, you name it. UUs love to compete and enjoy snacking while playing. Leave the dog at home, please. Do you love animals? How about donating a pet sitting service? Not comfortable with something so exotic? How about pet sitting a dog, a cat, a rabbit, or an ermine? Just to make sure to get feeding instructions before you say yes. Whether your skills and interests run from flower arranging to Renaissance fairs, hiking to bird watching, and comedy to concerts to comedy, if you share your passion, people will bid on it. Do you own a boat? People love an afternoon on the water. Stop for lunch at a waterside restaurant or dock it and picnic on shore. Or if you're inclined, start a revolution. Whether it's stargazing, dance lessons, or a tea time for 4, BidFest is only as successful as your donations and your bids. So please donate your time, your talent, and your creative or tried and true ideas, and get ready to have some fun all year round. And oh yes, bid high. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. There we go.
Everybody's waking up now.
Well, we'll give you a poppy little number to get you going. Okay.
I hear fools falsely hailing to the crooked wits of tyrants when they call. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. And I hear the sound of tearing pages and the roar of burning paper. All the crime and acquisition turn to air and ash and vapor, and the rattle of the shackle far beyond emancipators, and the loneliest to gather in their stalls. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear Noah's waterfall. gentle Lamb of Judah, sleeping at the feet of Buddha and the prophets from Elijah to the old Paiute vodka take their places at the table when they're called. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all.
Passerine, thank you very much. Sorry, I didn't get to introduce you before, but for many people here, you're well known. So I am Reverend J. Wolin, the settled minister here at the Unitarian Universalists of Sarasota. So glad that you are all here today. Normally, if this is your first time, I just want to let you know our announcements aren't quite that extensive every week. Our opening reading today is from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. I did have to look that up on Google, how to pronounce that. Lead us from untruth to truth, from shadow into light, from mortality to immortality. We rededicate ourselves before this light to lead lives of generosity, compassion, and love today and in the days to come. And so we light our chalice today as a reminder to us of that light within us. And so as we light the chalice, please join me in affirming our value of pluralism, which will be on the screen or in your orders of service. We celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. We covenant to learn from one another in our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect.
Good morning. So the Soul Matters theme for this month is cultivating compassion. And in keeping with this theme and honoring the Hindu sacred texts, here is a short parable from the Bhagavad Purana. So little Krishna loved eating sweet and juicy fruits along with butter sugar candy. Secor, the fruit seller, used to go out every day to sell fruits in the street of Gokul. And one day she reached Krishna's door with her basket of fruits. She sat there tired and said, "From morning to evening, not a single fruit of mine has been sold. There is not even a handful of grains in the house. Hey, God, help me." So Krishna was playing there, and after listening to Secor, he went to her and said, "Mother, please feed me these sweet fruits too, because I am very hungry." "I will give you the fruits, but you will have to pay for them. You will have to give me something in return for these fruits," said Secor. Yes, I will bring it right away." And saying this, Krishna went inside the house. Wheat was kept in a pot, and Krishna filled both of his fists with wheat grains and went to give them to the fruit seller. But as he went, the wheat grains fell from his small fist and scattered all along the way. And by the time he reached her, only 4 grains of wheat were left in his fist. "Here, mother, I have brought the price," said Krishna. "Hey, what is this? It's just 4 grains," said Secor. "But I have brought a handful of grains," said Krishna. "Well, look behind you. You have dropped all the grains." "Come on, no problem. Take all these fruits here," said the fruit seller. Secor felt it was necessary to satisfy Krishna's hunger, even if she did not get anything in return, and therefore she gave all of her fruits to Krishna. And when she reached home, she saw that her entire basket had been filled with diamonds and pearls. And the fruit seller thanked Krishna in her mind. So you see, children, did you see how the fruit seller gave all of her fruits to Krishna selflessly, that is, without any desire? Similarly, we should also do our work with full honesty, without expecting any reward. That is from the Bhagavad Purana. I now invite any children and youth to join me and Mr. Chris and Miss Kristen and our guest singer, Miss Margie, in the West Wing for fun, music, and songs. Thank you.
And here we are again. Just take us a moment to remember there's other things we have to do. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Show me an ocean, I'll show you a river. Show you a castle turned into sand. For we rise and we fall and we crash on the coastline. Only our love will last till the end. Fortune is fleeting, time is deceiving. Our bodies are weak, they turn into dust. All following blindly, but love's like lightning. Strikes only one time, ain't it enough? Ain't it enough to live by the ways of the world? To be part of a picture, whatever it's worth. Throw your arms around each other and love one another. For it's only one life that we've got. Ain't it enough? Surely all people were made for each other, to join in together when the day turns to dust. Let the prison walls crumble and the borders all tumble. There's a place for us all here, ain't it enough? Ain't it enough to live by the ways of the world? To be part of a picture, whatever it's worth. Throw your arms around each other and love one another. 'Cause it's only one life that we've got. Ain't it enough? Late in the evening, feeling the wind blow. Tall through the treetops, warm in the sun. Lying beside you, watching the moonrise. That's all there is, babe. Ain't it enough? Show me a river, I'll show you an ocean. Stars just like diamonds shining above. Where the heavens are beaming and all the world's dreaming of peace everlasting and
Thank you. Centering in words from the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2. They live in wisdom who see themselves in all and all in them, whose love for the Lord of love has consumed every selfish desire and sense craving tormenting the heart, not agitated by grief or hankering after pleasure. They live free from lust and fear and anger. Fettered no more by the selfish attachments, they are not elated by good fortune, nor depressed by bad. As we go into a time of silence, let us contemplate what it is that we are still attached to. So this year I will be offering a sermon series on sacred texts, and we'll be leading a class on the topic in person on the third Thursdays of each month, and then the following Sunday on Zoom. And this morning we start with the texts of Hinduism. Now the word Hindu is from the Persian dialect and was originally used as a geographic term, meaning the people who lived south of the Indus River. And when the British colonized India in the 18th and 19th century, they used the word Hinduism to describe the various local Indian religious practices which were not Muslim. Now, Hinduism became more well-known in the United States after Swami Vivekananda addressed the World Parliament of Religions in 1893 and spent 2 years touring the United States. As an aside, the World Parliament of Religions Executive Secretary was Unitarian Minister Reverend Jenkin Lloyd Jones, and along with the prominent Unitarian Fanny Barrier Williams, were instrumental in planning that parliament. The Unitarian Transcendentalists were introduced to Hindu sacred texts in the early to mid-19th century. In Walden, Henry David Thoreau wrote, and I quote, In the morning, I bathe my intellect in the stupendous and cosmogonal philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita. Cosmogonal, not a word you hear every day. The reader is nowhere raised into and sustained in a higher, purer, or rarer region of thought than in the Bhagavad Gita, and in comparison with which our modern world and its literature seem puny and trivial. Hindus themselves traditionally speak of Sanatana Dharma, the eternal way, a phrase that suggests not one religion among many, but a universal truth at the heart of existence. Hinduism has no single founder, no central creed, no single authoritative scripture. Instead, it is a vast collection of stories, rituals, philosophies, and practices integrated over thousands of years. In India, the oldest scriptures, the Vedas, were originally oral. They were memorized for centuries upon centuries by priests who chanted them in ritual settings. They were not, and still today are not, studied for their meaning, but experienced for their sound, rhythm, and power. So I think of like a drumming circle. Similarly, there are things we experience not on an intellectual level, but on an emotional level. The Vedas are the oldest layer of Hindu scripture, some dating as far back as 3,000 years. There are 4 collections, but the most well-known one is the Rig Veda, which is interpreted as verses of praise to gods and cosmic forces. These hymns praise gods like Agni, the fire, Indra, the thunder, Soma, the mysterious drink of immortality. One famous verse from the Rig Veda chapter 8 sings, and I will not sing it, we have drunk the Soma, we have become immortal, we have gone to the light, we have found the gods. What can hatred and the malice of a mortal do to us now? That sounds like something my older brother in the 60s might have said to me. The Vedas do not present doctrines or commandments. They are songs and rituals designed to bring human life into harmony with the cosmos. Now, new writings called the Upanishads, which you heard one verse from, were written somewhere around the 6th century BCE and actually were then incorporated into the Vedas. They are philosophical dialogues that ask deeper questions, such as what is the self or the soul? What is ultimate reality? What happens after death? Here we find teachings that move from ritual to wisdom teachings. And in the Chandogya Upanishad, chapter 10, a father teaches his son, and I quote, as a river flows east and west, merges in the sea, and becomes one with it, so do all creatures lose their separateness when they merge at last into pure being. You are that, end quote. That little phrase, you are that, became a profound foundation of Hindu philosophy. It proclaims that the self within us is one with infinite reality, or we might say being one with the universe. Later still came the great epics like the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. These are sprawling stories of gods and humans, battles and adventures. A subset within the Mahabharata is the Bhagavad Gita, arguably the most beloved and well-known Hindu scripture. The story chronicles a war between 2 lines within a royal family. One line, the Pandavas, are portrayed as exemplars of virtue, led by Prince Arjuna. The Bhagavad Gita is the story of Arjuna, who on the eve of battle, that he knows will leave many dead, including relatives on both sides, questions his own desire to fight. Chapter 1 ends with the line, and I quote, Arjuna sank down into the chariot and dropped his arrows and bow, his mind heavy with grief, end quote. And the remaining 17 chapters of the book are a discussion between Arjuna and his chariot driver Krishna, who turns out is God incarnate. The topics include the discussion of duty, non-attachment to results, the importance of gaining knowledge over following ancient rituals, the renunciation of sense pleasures, the self, freedom, devotion, God, the separation of the transient and the permanent in life, the difference between the individual consciousness and the universal consciousness. And these are just some among other deeply spiritual and religious questions. I find it interesting that a book whose backstory is one about one's duty to fight in a war can create such profound meaning. It is said that Mahatma Gandhi, the 20th century Indian activist for peaceful resistance against British colonialism, walked around with a copy of the Gita with him at all times. Gandhi wrote, "When doubts haunt me, when disappointments stare me in the face, and I see no ray of hope on the horizon, I turn to the Bhagavad Gita and find a verse to comfort me. And I immediately begin to smile in the midst of my overwhelming sorrow. Those who meditate on the Gita will derive fresh joy and new meaning from it every day." End quote. The outward battle in the book can speak to us as a metaphor for the inward battle that we face every day, right? The inward battle of our soul for authenticity. The inward battle of comfort versus conscience. The inward battle of compassion over fatigue. The battle of ego versus selflessness. The battle of action over inaction. The battle of fragmentation over wholeness. The Gita says in chapter 2, verse 47, "You have a right to your actions, but never to your actions' fruits. Act for action's sake, and do not be attached to inaction." This sense of acting with integrity, without clinging to reward, resonates deeply with our Unitarian Universalist values. Indeed, there are striking connections between Hindu thought and Unitarian Universalism. Both traditions honor pluralism. Hinduism embraces many gods, many philosophies, and many paths to the divine. Yet it proclaims they all lead to the same truth. And similarly, we Unitarian Universalists say that truth is not contained in a single scripture, but is revealed through many sources: world religion, science, poetry, and most importantly, our own experiences in the world. Both traditions emphasize inner light. The Upanishads say the self is within, is eternal, unborn, undying. Ralph Waldo Emerson was a Unitarian minister, was profoundly influenced by his reading of the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita. And he called this the Oversoul. He wrote a very long essay on it. And to quote a short passage, "Within humanity is the soul of the whole, the wise silence, the universal beauty, to which every part and particle is equally related." End quote. Both traditions teach that how we live matters, that compassion, justice, generosity, and truthfulness are not optional, but expressions of our deepest reality. And so now we invite you to express that deep reality of generosity in our experiences as we take our offering. Please be as generous as you can. For those online or here on your cell phone, there is a QR code or a link in the YouTube video. Let this sacred time begin. Our next reading is from the book Gandhi the Man, How One Man Changed Himself to Change the World. The Bhagavad Gita gives detailed instructions for crossing the sea of life, the battlefield where the narrative is set, represents the individual human heart, where the forces of light and darkness, love and separateness, war incessantly battle for mastery over our thoughts and actions. In the dialogue which unfolds, Arjuna, the warrior prince, who represents every person, seeks to learn the art of living from the Lord of love. Arjuna is a man of action. He is not interested in metaphysics or airy theories. He wants to know how to make every moment of his life count, free from anxiety and fear. His questions are practical inquiries into the problems of living. And now, once more, a way to solve those problems is with the beauty of music, with Passerine.
Coming here to play is, the enjoyment mostly for me is getting to listen to Reverend Jay. I love his stories, I love his sermons, it's always an honor. So how do we, really quick, how do we explain this song?
Well, you wrote it.
I know. I know, but you always have the best description.
This is a Shakespearean, Greek mythological, what else?
Reincarnation.
Reincarnation's love song.
That's it. Good job. our bass player will kick it off.
1, 2, 3, 4.
In your first life, you had one true love. Her name Eurydice. The serpent took her from you, and you sang to set her free. The rules were clearly worded. Don't turn to look and see. Look only to the living, or forever dead she'll be. Eurydice. Romeo, oh Romeo, her one true love is he. Their attempt to flee Verona ends so tragically. There never was a story with such sorrow and regret than that of Romeo and his true love, Juliet. How many times will it take? How many more mistakes until they get it right? Till they get it Is our love myth or madness? Some story one will read. Will history repeat itself and all of our misdeeds? Can we rise up to awareness? Open up our eyes and see. To love and know forgiveness and recall the memory of you and me. How many times will it take? How many more mistakes until we get it right? Did we get it
So how can text written thousands of years ago in Sanskrit help us live with integrity and hope today? In the Upanishads, when that parent tells the child, "You are that," they are saying, beneath all your roles, fears, and limitations, you are one with the universe, or the infinite. And that message, I think, is universal and still matters. In a world where so many of us feel small, powerless, or overwhelmed by forces beyond our control, the Upanishads reminds us of our inherent dignity. not dignity given by estate, not dignity given by success, but the dignity woven into the fabric of existence itself. Imagine what that could mean for us, to not be attached to the outcomes of our actions, right? We are called to work for justice, not because we know we will win tomorrow, but because it is our sacred duty. In our democratic struggles today, when the climb feels steep and victory uncertain, the Gita whispers, do not be paralyzed by potential outcomes. Do the work that is yours to do faithfully, courageously, lovingly. I'll return again to Emerson, who sitting by his fire in Concord, Massachusetts, felt the resonance of the Upanishads in his bones. He wrote, "The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be." And that, I would say, is a Hindu thought in an American voice. And of course, we have many Hindu Americans, but and although it is interesting that India is one, and Hinduism is so connected to the country of India, a little bit different. But again, that same saying, you are that. We are what we do. For us today, these scriptures invite us inward. They ask us to still the noise, to listen to the silence, and know that the spark of the cosmos is within each one of us. And as well as every other human being, right? They invite us outward too, to live out our life by acting with compassion, generosity, and courage in the face of suffering. As Unitarian Universalists, we do not need to become Hindus to learn from Hinduism. We honor these texts as part of the great human treasury of wisdom. We hear in them echoes of our own commitments to honor the inherent worth and dignity of every person, to live in covenant with one another and the earth, to trust the inner light of conscience and experience. So what do the Hindu scriptures say to us here, now? They say, do not measure your worth by fleeting rewards. You are more than your successes or failures. They say, when life feels fragmented, remember, you are that. You are part of the great oneness that holds all things. They say, live your life, not somebody else's, but your own, faithfully, fully, lovingly. And they say the sacred is not confined to one book or one tradition. It shines in the hymns of the Rig Veda, in the questions within the Upanishads, in the chariot of Arjuna, and in the spark of the self within you and within me. As the Katha Upanishad says in chapter 3, verse 14, arise, awake, the path is difficult to traverse. Learn the path. Do not stop. End quote. May we arise to the mission and vision of our congregation, awake to our inner light, and journey together towards living lives of meaning and compassion. May it be so. And now, I invite you to awake and arise for our closing hymn, 1028, The Fire of Commitment.
Hearts and spirits
From the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4. When a person has let go of attachments, when their mind is rooted in wisdom, everything they do is worship. Wisdom is the final goal of every action. Therefore, with the sword of wisdom, cut off this doubt in your heart and follow the path of selfless action. Please join me now in extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame.
But not the light of truth, the warmth of unity, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Thank you for your presence here today. Go forth, be committed, sign up for BidFest. Thank you.